Welcome to our comprehensive tutorial on calculating percentages in Excel. We'll explore three distinct methods tailored to different data types and table structures, helping you to visualize and analyze your data more effectively. Let's start with our first method, which uses the COUNTIF and COUNTA functions to calculate the percentage of specific items within a dataset. This method is particularly useful for categorical data. Imagine you're tracking the weekly consumption of various fruits and need to determine which fruit is the most common. Create a table with categories listed in one column and a second column for their respective percentages. In the percentage column, enter the formula equals COUNTIF $B2, $B11, D2, COUNTA $B2, $11. For the first fruit, this formula calculates the percentage by dividing the occurrences of the fruit by the total number of fruits listed. After entering the formula in the first row, press Enter and then use the fill handle to copy the formula down to the subsequent rows. This will automatically calculate the percentages for all listed fruit categories. Our second method is an alternative approach that uses the sum function to calculate the percentage of sales for each product. This method is especially useful when dealing with numerical data, such as sales figures. For this method, create a table that includes product names in one column and their corresponding sales figures in another. You'll use this table to calculate the percentage of total sales for each product. In the percentage column for the first product, use the formula equals B2, sum, $B2, $5. To determine the percentage of total sales, copy this formula across the row to calculate the sales percentage for all products. For more complex datasets with potential duplicate entries, our third method employs a pivot table to calculate percentages. This method is ideal for summarizing and analyzing large datasets efficiently. To create a pivot table, navigate to the Insert tab and select Recommended Pivot Tables. Choose the table or range that contains the data you want to analyze and confirm your selection. Now that we have our pivot table set up, it's time to refine it so that it displays the percentage of sales for each product. This step is crucial for understanding the relative contribution of each product to the total sales. To begin, locate the Sum of Sales field in your pivot table. Double-click on this field to open the Value Field Settings dialog box. Here, you'll see several options for how to display the values. In the Value Field Settings dialog, switch to the Show Values As tab. This is where you'll determine how the data is presented. From the drop-down list, select the option % of column total. This choice will calculate the percentage of each product's sales relative to the total sales of all products in the column. After selecting % of column total, you'll be given the opportunity to customize the name that appears in the pivot table. Update the custom name to % of sales for clarity. This name will help you and anyone else viewing the pivot table to quickly understand what the values represent. Once you've made these selections, click OK to apply the changes and close the dialog box. Excel will now update the pivot table, and you should see the calculated percentages displayed in the table. Take a moment to review the pivot table. You should notice that each product is now accompanied by the percentage of total sales it represents. This visualization provides a clear and concise summary of the sales data, making it easier to analyze and interpret. Remember, pivot tables are dynamic and can be easily adjusted if your data changes or if you want to explore different views of your data. Simply click on the pivot table and use the drag and drop interface to modify the table structure, or right-click on the data to refresh or change the summary calculations. Congratulations! You've successfully learned three versatile methods to calculate percentages in Excel, enhancing your analytical toolkit for a variety of data scenarios. These methods will be invaluable for your data analysis needs. Thanks for watching our tutorial on calculating percentages in Excel. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask. Don't forget to subscribe for more Excel tips, tricks, and in-depth tutorials to elevate your data skills.